guys, and welcome back to my channel, ArtOfAFarrey. This is a fairy, otherwise known as Amanda, and yes, this is kind of a new style of video, I suppose, for me. Instead of just talking about the piece and etc., I'm actually going to be discussing a topic, and this time I decided to talk about art block because it's something that I've actually been struggling with myself the past couple weeks or so. I don't know exactly why. I'm just feeling really, I don't even know if I would call it art block so much, but almost just overwhelmed with ideas, and I can't seem to stay focused on one thing long enough to finish a piece. And so I really had to push myself on this piece here, you know, just to actually follow through with it. And I've got so many pieces that I haven't finished, and it's just, I don't know. It's like I get halfway through a piece and I realize, oh, well, I can do better than that. And so I start over on something else, on a new idea that I had that came to mind. And in the end, none of them ever seem good enough to me because I feel like I'm evolving as an artist a lot right now, and it's just, I don't know. So I don't know if that really applies to art block so much, but generally what most artists consider to be art block is, you know, just feeling like, I suppose there's the way to think that, you know, you just don't know what to draw, or you don't feel like you have any original ideas for artwork, and so you just feel kind of lost. And then there's art block, another form of art block for some artists, where you know what you want to draw, but it seems like you just simply cannot execute anything to save your life. And now I have gone through both kinds of art block myself, and I mean, both are equally frustrating in their own ways. Personally, I find the one where I know what I want to draw, but I just can't execute it well, that's so much more frustrating to me, because if I have a clear idea in my mind, generally I can execute it, but there's just those times where you draw something and it's like your hand just doesn't work. I don't know. Does anybody else ever go through that? Because maybe it's not just me. No, but anyways, as far as art block goes, I know there was some controversy over the Baylee Jae video, which sadly enough I didn't even really get to see because it's not there anymore that I can find, and if it is, I'm just silly and can't find it, I guess. But I know there was the whole thing where she said basically it's just being lazy, and you know, you can always do art even if you don't know what to draw. And I think that she has a point in some ways about that. Just because it's true. You know, what she says about drawing, you don't necessarily have to be inspired or have an original idea to draw something. And I kind of like to think of, I don't know, when I think of art and doing art, generally my mind immediately goes to making pieces that are, you know, saleable, or you know, finished pieces that I'm proud of. You know, that's where my mind immediately goes. I don't like to think of art in the form of practicing. Like, anything and everything that I draw, I want it to be something that I'm able to show off to the world, because I don't know, art, you know, being good at art and making pieces that other people like, you know, I love getting that kind of feedback. So, you know, I hate the idea of sitting down and thinking about just doing art for the sake of practice. Like, for me, I'm such a perfectionist that even when I do a sketch, I want it to be perfect, you know? And that's not necessarily the best way to think about it, because, yeah, I mean, it makes for a lot of half-finished pieces of art for me. So, as far as art block goes, when I do get into that mindset where I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to draw, or I'm not executing something well, that's when I force myself to go into, okay, we're going back to practice mode now, because I can't seem to, you know, figure out what the hell I'm doing on my own. And so then I'll force myself to sit down and draw out extremely basic shapes and shade them, or you know, I'll go back and I'll only draw like mannequin people, if you know what I mean by that. Like, draw their basic shape, their basic structure, you know, stick people that I use when I map out an actual drawing of a person, just to go back to the basics, because I think that's really one of the best ways to get over art block, because I find a lot of times that when you've been drawing and doing art for so long, sometimes you forget how fundamental the basics really are, and how not only do the basics of art help you to create art that's realistic and pleasing to the eye, but it actually can inspire, you know, where a lot of your creativity comes from. I know for me, when I'm really, really struggling with art block, my favorite thing to do that immediately inspires me every time is to watch a YouTube video of somebody else painting a picture that I really, really like. Or just going on DeviantArt and searching for art that I really, really resonate with. You know, for some reason, when I see art that other people have created that elicits some kind of an emotional response in me, immediately that makes me want to turn around and put my response back out to the world as well. So that'll instigate me to actually get moving and create a piece. So that's one of my best tips for overcoming art block, is look at other people's art. I don't know why I find that so inspiring. Other people might not, so I'm sorry if, you know, that doesn't help you at all, but that's just something that really, really helps me. Yeah, and I don't know why, but one of my favorite things about art, one of my favorite, like, things that I like to capture when I'm making art is movement, which, not that you can tell in this piece because she's pretty stiff, which is something I dislike about this piece, actually. But I really like movement, and so watching videos of people doing things I find graceful or beautiful, especially like pole dancing. I love to watch videos of women pole dancing because it's beautiful. Or figure skating is another thing that's beautiful, or ballet, movement like that, or ballroom dancing in their dresses and, you know, shit like that. I just love to watch that movement. I love seeing girls' hair blow in the wind. Things like that really inspires me to draw for some reason. So my best advice for overcoming art block would be to, you know, look to the things that you immediately are drawn to. Go find something that you think is beautiful and really focus on it for a little while. And at the same time, you know, art block isn't always necessarily a bad thing. I think that it's necessary in some ways for us to stop and really pay attention to our art from a different point of view than we normally have, you know, when we feel like we're on. And you know, it's important for us to kind of see it from a different perspective. That way we can continue to evolve as artists and get better and better. Because if I just keep seeing my art through the same pair of glasses that I've always been wearing, I'm never going to be able to see it clearer than I do right now. And that's necessary in order for you to be, you know, to continue to improve as an artist. So I think that while art block might be an excuse to some, I do think that it is a necessary evil in our mind and in our way of thinking and behaving as humans that really creates the ability for us to really move forward and be objective and evolve, which is, you know, tantamount to being an artist if you really want to make it a career or if it's your true passion. So yeah, I mean, I guess that was just my quick little thoughts about art block. Nothing really all that organized. I just kind of rambled on. And then with this picture, as you can see, I'm using Clip Studio paint. And yeah, she's my gothy chick, and she's forever alone, I suppose. But anyways, please hit that like button if you liked what I had to say or you like my artwork. And also, please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more from me, and also click the little bell so you'll get notifications when I put out new videos. I do have some tutorials coming up, so yeah, be on the lookout for all of that. And oh yeah, it's gonna be St. Patty's Day soon, so happy Irish, because I'm Irish and Irish people totally freaking rock. Okay, bye.